Maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew this year, but I don't know, let's see. Now I'm going to go over the events I have planned in order by month, and then at the end of this video I'm going to share with you one thing I want to get done by the end of this video. So this is kind of my goals, what I've got going on this year, and hopefully what I'm going to put on the channel throughout this year. First of all, kicking things off pretty soon, real soon at the start of March, is the 4x4x48 challenge. This is more of a global event that people do at the same time or different times all around the world. Started off by David Goggins. If you don't know him, he's just a goddamn animal. He is a beast, he's a sicko. He's ex-Navy SEAL, he's just an animal. So I did this challenge last year, it was absolutely savage. Now the idea is to run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So over the course of a weekend, let's say you end up doing 48 miles. They do get split into 4-mile chunks, giving you some rest time, but there's no solid sleep going on in there in the 48 hours of this challenge. So it's definitely more of a mental game, this one, but I do need to up my running a bit more than I am at the minute anyway, to be able to do 48 miles in one weekend. And I'm going to be doing this in London with the boys, which will be much better this time as opposed to last year. I did it around home, so London will be much better lit, it will be flatter, there'll be a lot to see, which I think will be so much better than last year. So if you're up for a bit of a run that weekend and you're in London, then let me know. And then about a month after, I'm going to be doing Exeter Sprint Triathlon. Now, I probably wouldn't have bothered with this one really, but I did it last year, so it's going to be nice to see how my fitness compares this time around, and it gives me some sort of kind of competition with myself doing the exact same course, exact same event. So last year it took me 1 hour and 42 minutes, roughly a 5k run, a 22k cycle, and a 5k run again. But I got completely mugged off, I think, with the transition times because of COVID and things. They changed the rules on it. The transition times weren't counted in the time, and then they were counted in the total time. So people are chilling out in there, just, you know, it was a weird one. With this one as well, there's a bit of rivalry going on. There's a couple other personal trainers I know, or physios that I know that are doing these events. One guy that I did these events with him last year, so that's going to be good. I absolutely smashed him out of the water, and I think he's keen and he's training super hard at the minute, and he's got better numbers for me for everything. He's faster at the minute, and stuff like that. So these are going to be quite competitive in that way. It's a little bit of a friendly rivalry, let's say. Taunton Triathlon next up. So this is going to be in May. I've only done a couple of triathlons before, and both sprint ones, but I just love the variety and the complexity of having to train for 3 different events or 3 different disciplines in one event. It's just cool. I don't particularly love running or swimming. I quite like cycling, but it's just nice to do the mixture of them and having some sort of complexity when it comes to the training. Again, I'm not competitive, not anywhere near the podium, but it's just a great challenge, and I think it's a good marker of overall fitness. Then we have the big one, the real big one. This is massive. That's what she said. But seriously, this is Étape du Tour, 10th of July. This bad boy is in the French Alps and is a tough kind of stage of the Tour de France. So it's a 1-day stage of which the pros will be doing the week after, also doing the actual Tour de France. It's only 170k, and I do say only because although that would be hard, it's a lot of distance to cover in one day. It's not the main aspect of this. The main aspect of this is it's a route that covers 4,700 meters of positive accumulated elevation. So let's just say it's massively hilly, and it's all well and good going out to 20k or whatever it may be on the flat, but as soon as you add a hill in there, you know, the amount of time it takes you, how much sapping of energy it is just insanely different. So I haven't done anything like that in terms of hills before, so I think this is going to be like a really big challenge. So really, this is what I need to focus on and train for the most. Otherwise, I'm just not going to finish it, let alone it being uncomfortable and a horrible day. I'm just not even going to be able to finish it if I don't train properly for this. And it could just end up being an awful day in the saddle. With that said, that's the main plan at the moment, but I am eyeing up a few other events before that. Honiton Triathlon, which I've done before, and a couple of bits sooner in March to help me train for ETAP. And then potentially after that big one, I'm going to look at doing a standard distance triathlon if I can manage to sort the swimming out. Quickly though, a question for you. Are you doing any of these events? These ones that I'm doing, be awesome to hear. Or what events are you planning on doing this year? Let me know in the comments below. If this has inspired you to do any, it would be great to know in the comments, or inspired you to look at any of these events. That would be awesome. Now, that's more than enough for me. That's a challenging year, right? But I also want to achieve a single arm pull-up. And I've been trying this for ages. I thought I was going to be able to do it in a few months. That just hasn't happened. This is an outright strength challenge. So it's the complete opposite of these endurance events I've just mentioned, which does pose a problem really, because they're two opposite ends of the spectrum. But I'm going to try anyway. I'm hoping if I can drop some weight with all the cardio that I'm going to be doing, but keep the strength training going, I might just be able to do it. So that's kind of my plans, my goals, the races that I'm doing this year. And considering all that, I'm going to try and document these events, my training and other fitness stuffs along the way on YouTube. It's just nice to have a record of it, and hopefully, you know, it might inspire some of you out there, and you might be able to see me suffer and see what it's like for somebody that's not particularly competitive in any of these different areas to do these kind of challenges and these events. And if you want to see any particular content around this, you know, let me know, shoot some ideas across in the comments below, or send me a message. If you're keen to watch these videos that contain content like this, then hit the like button, and that lets me know whether it's a good idea for me to put it out on YouTube or not, or whether it's just good for me to document it for myself and as more of a hobby.